have to make, and I know it's going to be like really uncool saying it at this particular event, but I had a kid 8 months ago. I was nervous about that. I know it's like admitting that you're into like Nickelback. You don't think they're that bad. It's like everybody forgives you for it, but you can't be in on the trash talk anymore. And I like held out a long time. You know what I mean? I wanted like all of my friends to still think I was cool. I don't know. People say wild shit to you when you're pregnant. I don't know. The audacity that people find, frankly, just they're giving it away for free. But they would just come up to you and be like, your boobs are never gonna be the same. Say goodbye to sleeping. And you're like, all right, dude, I'm far along right now. I don't think there's much I can do about this ghost of Christmas future. Right? And I think it's wild that people just like say that shit to you, you know, when pregnant women are notoriously an unhinged people. You know, like, I looked this up for purposes of this joke. There's a history of women getting acquitted for violent crimes because they were able to plead insanity because of pregnancy. I know it's one of those rare things where sexism helps. You know what I mean? But it really makes you think, right? That like pregnant women are being severely underutilized by the mob. Right? Because a pregnant woman can just show up to somebody's business broad daylight with a tire iron. You know, be like, Jimmy, you owe us a lot of money, don't you? Oh, you can be in here. Oh, Jimmy, don't you know? I got all those lady hormones. I just can't help myself. And then you could have some like cool line like, now we're both knocked up. Just... If we had like a little gang, it could be called like the Third Trimesters. It was very nerve-wracking being pregnant because it was the first one I ever wanted to keep. You know, I had a few, and I normally say schmortions, but you know here, abortions. Yeah. I've had a few abortions, all right? I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? And I was mostly worried that my baby was able to tell when she was in there. You know, like maybe there was something written on the walls. Beware all who enter here. Or she just had like a little flashlight, like, oh, what was that? Like a little haunted house. Oh God, little Luigi's Mansion action going on for her. The vacuum's actually not her tool. I loved doing that joke, especially when I was super pregnant. The best, because like, and this is what I've learned now. Sometimes I think the people that are like pro-lifers, it's not like because they're like Jesus. I think it's just more like they appreciate follow-through or something like that. They're really, you know, I was willing to commit. So they just let me take abortion jokes. I don't know. I also think the pro-lifers, they just want an excuse as to why they shouldn't hit their kids that's like stronger than morality or something for them. It's just like, oh, but Jesus wouldn't want it. I actually really love my kid. I've never wanted to shake her or anything. I'm a lucky one, I guess. But I also think that there's not that much of a difference between like taking care of like disabled animals and a baby. You know what I mean? Like, or almost every animal I've ever had has 3 legs. It's not a fetish. I like to take care of them. I don't know why I confessed that. There's not much of a difference. Like dogs, right? Like we like noticed that they like violent behavior, you know, and that's really the difference between babies and dogs is how violent you can allow their behavior to be before it's not cute anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, because like dogs, we gave them squeak toys because they're like, we hear you like the screams of dying animals. Here you go, champ, mom's little murder. Right? We don't allow that same luxury for babies, you know? It's not like if I like went into the bathroom one day and I saw my daughter holding her doll underwater. Giggling, thrashing imagine. I'm gonna lean in the doorway and go, aw. I should get her one that fights back. You know? Now from the Fisher Ultimate Priceline, it's Can't Swim Sally. Now with real bubbles. Speaking of violent events, birth was as advertised. It was very... And before birth, I was obviously terrified, right? So I went up to other birth people and I was like, hey, like, what am I in for? Like, tell me anything that makes me feel less scared, right? And across the board, all these unhelpful bitches. They were just like, oh, don't worry about it. You won't remember most of it. Yeah, not helpful, right? That's not comforting. That means it's so traumatic that your brain just wraps it up in a little ball and puts it way in the back. Where the creepy uncle massages go, right? I think that's the only reason why women continue to have babies after the first one, because you can't remember what labor's like. It's kind of how like you keep dating douchebags because you can't quit drinking. Into it. A lot of people ask me what it's like to be a new mom, and this is what I can kind of like summarize it as is people that if you don't have one, you're just looking, I'm just gonna pick on you, you're just looking at this little being that you love more than anything in the whole world. You're just staring deep into their eyes, and they're staring directly at your tits. Sarah, it's just a joke, you know what I mean? Nah. And like, I know a lot of you guys are like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And a lot of ladies are like, I've dated creeps before. And if you're a creepy man that's offended by that joke, just know that as a new mom, I can now sympathize with creepy men, right? Because I too know the frustration of when a bitch won't finish her drink. Because you know that's the only way she's going to bed with you. One though, it's a true story. One night, I was in bed, my partner, they were off like brushing their teeth or some shit. Her crib's right next to our bed. She's sleeping, being cute. And I let out what I can only describe as like a coy fart. And you're just like farting, you just blow it away. Ooh. And my boyfriend comes back to bed, we're sleeping, and then a few moments later, he jolts up, right? And he goes, I think she just shit her pants. And I had to be like, oh no, he's about to wake her up, you know what I mean? I had this moment where it's like, I don't want her to have to ruin her dreams, you know? And so like, he's like, oh, I think she just shit her pants. And I said, no, she didn't. 'Twas I. And he turned to me very earnestly and said, you're a really good mom.